Prisoner XE-47623. Welcome to Facility 7. Out of all the numerous scum that inhabit death row, you have been tagged as completely expendable, and you have therefore been placed here, in my care. I am William Keene, the warden of this facility, and the man in charge of the experimental weapons program. In here, I will give you two options: cooperation or death. In Facility 7, we believe in both punishing and rewarding prisoners. If you cooperate and somehow manage to succeed in every trial we place before you, your criminal record will be erased. From then on, you'll be free to ruin your life out in the real world once more. If you start falling behind, however, or make too many mistakes, we shall have no use for you, and your sentence will be carried out. Now, your first choice. Either you walk up to the door and enter the transit, or you can stay in here. If you choose to stay, we will fill the chamber with chlorine gas, and you will die a slow, agonizing death. You have 1 minute to make up your mind. Choose life then. How wise. Some people break down before we even start. They say the first few hours are the hardest, when everything is new and traumatic. Some even cry like babies, failing to see that they have been given an opportunity. I will send you to the basic evaluation module first. The people upstairs have had a hard time finding suitable subjects in death row, so we have been ordered to stop wasting resources. If you ask me though, what is there to waste? I will leave you for now. Our dear prison psychologist will take care of the basics. Good luck, Prisoner XE-47623, and remember, there is always a way out.
Welcome to Facility 7, Prisoner XE-47623. My name is Dr. Karen Womberg, the prison psychologist. That, however, is not really what's important right now. What is important is that you pay attention and learn quickly, or you won't make it far in this place. Well then, in the middle of this chamber, there is a device that you will need. It's still what the people upstairs call a prototype, but it should suffice for now. We call it a magnet gun, but I won't tell you how it works since no one here expects you to have an advanced knowledge of physics. Just do what most prisoners do. Push a few buttons and see what happens. I suppose a few words of warning are in order. That device will not only apply forces to objects around you, but you will also be affected. So the stronger the power setting on the magnet gun, the greater the force that pushes or pulls on you and the objects. When you are done playing around, just take the elevator, and I will guide you further in the next chamber.
Les prétendants des gigants, les prétendants des gigants, les diamants, des papiers, après tout le monde est près des diamants, les prétendants, les poètes, les prétendants, les prétendants, les
We do not wish to strain you just yet, so we'll start simple. A button and a box. This is all you need to worry about. Feel free to toss it around a bit before moving along. I hope that you have realized by now that the D-27 magnetic propulsion device can both attract and repel the objects you encounter. In the next chamber, you will also see how it can affect you. Here, though, it's more of the same. Boxes and buttons. You becomes greater if you jump after it builds up. Think of it like tensing your leg muscles a little extra before making the leap. Everything is going smoothly so far, and you seem to understand the most fundamental uses of the magnet gun. But just so you know, this is the easy part. I would hate for you to get your hopes up, only to have them crushed later on. Without falling down even once. You will get an extra star in the protocol. Otherwise, well, I guess there are other promising inmates. Disappointing. Well, no matter. I'm sure you will do your absolute best to not disappoint me again. The device in your hands will not make things lighter for you. The D-27 prototype is still a bit rough around the edges, and has a fairly limited power output. It will be interesting to see how you handle these heavier objects. far. I have high hopes that you shall prove to be at least an intermediate source of data. That is, if you reach the more mentally demanding challenges. This place, it's more like a marathon than a sprint. Take your time and learn the basics before you move on. Once the evaluation is over, you will have precious little time to learn. Look around you, observe the area, and use the environment to your advantage. This is the most important advice I can give you. Others who monitor you later on will probably not be as generous with their advice as I am. boxes and buttons, right? I think we've got this covered. Moving along. I am certain that you can do better than you did in the last chamber. Stay sharp, dear. Neither of us would like the things I would have to do to you if you start falling behind. Is different than what you have seen so far. In fact, it's not about manipulating magnetic forces or weapons testing. In here, it's all about you making a choice. Is that clear? There will be no second chances at this, just so you know. Now then, would you kindly leave the magnet gun at the designated stand? We cannot continue unless you do. Oh, and don't worry, you'll get a new one later, if all goes well. As this is just a preliminary test chamber, the choice before you is rather simple. Later choices might be a lot more difficult for you. You ready? In the middle of the chamber, there is a button. My question for you today is the following. Will you press it? You have 20 seconds to make up your mind, so I suggest that you think quickly. The countdown has begun. Make your choice. Well done. You may go back the way you came. Nothing more to see here. Once the lights above the door turn green, you can leave the chamber and enter the transit to your cell. Done. Subject XE47623. You've managed to dig your way through the basic evaluation chambers with a passable grade. I'm sure the pleasure has been mutual. Good luck and welcome to the weapons testing program. Try to get some rest before Warden Keene sends for you.